Hello, everybody, and welcome to a Let's Play of Fallout New Vegas. Just in case it matters, I have played this game quite a bit before, including all the side quests, including all the DLC stuff. So this will not be a blind playthrough. And speaking of which, I intend to play the DLC before, or this game too, eventually. But we'll work things out as we go along.
War never changes. When atomic fire consumed the Earth, those who survived did so in great underground vaults. When they opened, their inhabitants set out across the ruins of the old world to build new societies, establishing villages, forming tribes. As decades passed, what had been the American Southwest united beneath the flag of the new California Republic, dedicated to old world values of democracy and the rule of law. As the Republic grew, so did its needs. Scouts spread east, seeking territory and wealth in the dry and merciless expanse of the Mojave Desert. They returned with tales of a city untouched by the warheads that had scorched the rest of the world, and a great wall spanning the Colorado River. The NCR mobilized its army and sent it east to occupy Hoover Dam and restore it to working condition. But across the Colorado, another society had arisen under a different flag. A vast army of slaves forged from the conquest of 86 tribes, Caesar's Legion. 4 years have passed since the Republic held the dam, just barely, against the Legion's onslaught. The Legion did not retreat. Across the river, it gathers strength. Campfires burn, training drums beat. Through it all, the New Vegas Strip has stayed open for business, under the control of its mysterious overseer, Mr. House, and his army of rehabilitated tribals and police robots. You are a courier, hired by the Mojave Express to deliver a package to the New Vegas Strip. What seemed like a simple delivery job has taken a turn for the worse.
You got what you were after, so pay up.
You're crying in the rain, Pally.
Guess who's waking up over here?
Time to cash out.
Will you get it over with?
Maybe cons kill people without looking them in the face. But I ain't a fink. Dig? You've made your last delivery, kid. Sorry you got twisted up in this scene. From where you're kneeling must seem like an 18-carat run of bad luck. Truth is, the game was rigged from the start.
that was the intro. The whole start of this escapade.
You're away?
Come on.
How about that? Whoa, easy there, easy. You've been out cold a couple of days now. Why don't you just relax a second? Get your bearings. Let's see what the damage is. How about your name? Can you tell me your name? I can't say it's what I'd have picked for you, but if that's your name, that's your name. I'm Doc Mitchell.
Hold on a second. I thought I...
Welcome to Goodsprings. Now, I hope
There
you
we
don't
are.
mind, but I had to go rooting around there in your noggin to pull all the bits of lead out. I take pride in my needlework, but you'd better tell me if I left anything out of place. How'd I do?
I've never been... I never go too in depth with the character death, especially with all this kind of stuff. I've never been like... Never been the best at it, so I'm not one of those people that can like make different like specific people or characters or whatever or in it. Good enough. Yeah.
Well, I got most of it right anyway. Stuff that mattered. Okay. No sense keeping you in bed anymore. Let's see if we can get you on your feet. Good.
Wait.
Why don't you walk down to the end of the room? Over by that vigor test
What?
machine there. Take it
That was-
slow now. It ain't a race.
You get out of my face, thank you. I've played both this game and Fallout 3, and between the two, I'm kind of a fan of this game more. For
Looking
reasons
good
that...
so far.
Hold on.
Go ahead and give the vigor tester a try. We'll learn right quick if you got back all your faculties.
I'm kind of a fan of this game more than Fallout 3 for the most part, except for one detail that I'll have to wait a minute to explain if you're willing to be patient. Strength will tell you how easily a cowboy totes his saddle and those bigger firearms and how much help he's going to be for you in a saloon brawl. And it tells you like the kind of things it affects, like melee and arm, inventory weight, damage, and weapon effectiveness. And we can go from wet noodle to wet noodle, beach, doughy baby, lightweight, average Joe, barrel chested, beach bully, circus strongman, or Doomsday Pecs, or Hercules' bigger cousin. A perceptive cowboy always knows when there's a lit stick of dynamite nearby, or when a varmint is sneaking up on him. This affects explosives, lockpick, energy weapons, accuracy, and compass range. Yeah, I'm not the biggest fan of these stats. Well, the only one I like is lockpick. But for the most part, or we can do. I'm okay with it being lower. Endurance. Since you can't keep a good cowboy down, not if he's the endurance type, and not if he's got a 6-shooter the size of Alternation. This affects an armed, health, resistance, and survival. Okay, I think I'll go with survival 7. Charisma. You'll find there's some smooth-talking cowboys out there that got themselves a voice that sounds like an angel's harmonica. This affects your barter, speech, and companioner. I'll go with that. Intelligence. Smart cowboy is good at most anything, from sucking the poison out of your rattler bite to fixing your broken wagon axle. This affects science, repair, medicine, and skill points. For this reason, I want to invest. Let's tie her up on it. That agility. When a fella's is in a gunfight and shoots the other guy 6 times before they can get off a shot, it's because that fella's agile. This affects guns, sneak, speed, and action point regeneration. I'm okay with leaving that at 5. And luck. Some folks claim not to believe in luck. When they lose it in a duel, you'll hear them say, "That lucky son of a gun." This affects your all skills, those critical hits, and enemy mishaps. I'll put that down. Second eye. I'll take that to 8.
Look at that. Maybe them bullets done your brain some good. Well, we know your vitals are good, but that don't mean them bullets didn't leave you nuttered and a bighorn dropping. What do you say you take a seat in my couch and we go through a couple of questions? See if your dogs are still barking.
Yeah. Let's get into this.
All right. I'm gonna say a word. I want you to say the first thing that comes to mind. Dog.
Feed.
House.
Shelter.
Night.
Sleep.
Bandit.
Swiss cheese.
Light.
Flash.
Mother.
Caretaker.
Okay. Now I got a few statements. I want you to tell me how much they sound like something you'd say. First one. Conflict just ain't in my nature.
No opinion.
I ain't given to relying on others for support.
No opinion.
I'm always fixing to be the center of attention.
Disagree.
I'm slow to embrace new ideas.
No opinion.
I charge in to deal with my problems head on.
Agree.
Almost done here. What do you say you have a look at this? Tell me what you see.
I guess it could be a shadow in the doorframe.
Okay. How about this one?
Kinda looks like the Lucky 37. I'm too embarrassed to see what it looks like. I guess you want to see it that way, but... Guess space age technology?
Last one.
A lot of people like to say that this last one looks like two bears high-fiving it. And I can see that. Some people specifically mod the game just to be able to add the two bears high-fiving option. I guess I just disagree.
Well, that's all she wrote. I don't have nothing to compare it to, so maybe you'd better just have a look at the results. See if it all seems right to you.
Alright. And from what I know, the options you choose there ends up choosing for you, like what little what skills are tagged here. And he tagged me with the medicine, melee weapons, and science tags. I think I'm happy with... Do I want this or something else? Actually, I think tagging something usually adds like... Tagging something usually ends up adding about 15 points to it. Like, you notice how like it jumps from 16 to 31 here.
Before I turn you loose, I need one more thing from you. I got a form for you to fill out so I can get a sense of your medical history. Just a formality. Ain't like I expect to find you got a family history of getting shot in the head.
Hey, my great-great-grandfather's great-great-grandfather got shot in the head 75 times and he still walked away from that. Yeah, these perks here that you can choose at the beginning of the game are kind of a dual-edged swords. Like a lot of perks are just straight upgrades or so, or improve a little abilities. But these particular perks at the beginning of the game, come with like an upside and a downside. Like this one, like Kamikaze, you'll receive a plus 10 action points, but your reckless nature causes you to have -2 damage threshold. Well, damage threshold in this game is just basically your defense. Or this one, when your health drops below 50%, you gain a plus 10% more damage, but you also suffer -2 to your agility and perception attributes. Or you're good-natured at heart. Or more prone to solving problems with your mind and violence. You gain +5 to barter, medicine, repair, science, and siege, but have -5 energy weapons, explosives, guns, melee weapons, and unarmed. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That So it's a 1. Stop changing, please. See, that's a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5, 10, 15, 20, 20. So that's 25 points to all non-combat stuff. Of 2. Or 4-eye is, while wearing a type of glasses, you have a +1 perception. Without glasses, you have -1 perception. So the way I read that is essentially you sacrifice a perception point in exchange for upgrading all eyewear to give a +2 perception. While using guns and energy guns, you fire 20% more quickly, but your shots are 20% less accurate. Built to destroy the flame. Charge twice as bright, less hassle long, all weapons have +2 chance of equipment condition decays 15% faster. That I like. Your skill but not experience. You gain +5 points to every skill, but you suffer -10% from experience gained from now on. Okay, throwing seriously, so costs 25% less range. The second one I like to pick is always Wild Wasteland.
Alright, I guess that about does it. Come with me, I'll see you out.
Ball caps are the Fallout universe's currency.
Here, these are yours. Was all you had on you when you was brought in. I hope you don't mind, but I gave the note a look. I thought it might help me find a next of kin. But it was just something about a platinum chip. Well, if you're heading back out there, you ought to have this. They call it a Pip-Boy. I grew up in one of them vaults they made before the war. We all got one. Ain't much use to me now, but you might want such a thing after what you've been through. I know what it's like having something taken from you. And put this on too, so the locals don't pick on you for lacking
Ball
modesty.
21 jumpsuit.
Never was much my style anyway.
Thanks for patching me up, Doc.
Don't mention it. It's what I'm here for. You should talk to Sunny Smiles before you leave town. She can help you learn to fend for yourself in the desert. She'll likely be at the saloon. I reckon some of the other folks at the saloon might be able to help you out too. And the metal fella, Victor, who pulled you out of your grave. Anyway, you ever get hurt out there, you come right back. I'll fix you up. But try not to get killed anymore.
No promises. Hardcore mode. Following Vegas allows you to play in a new hardcore mode that greatly increases the challenge of the game. In this mode, stim packs heal over time, cannot mend broken limbs. Radaway removes radiation over time. Ammunition is weight, and dehydration is a constant concern. This mode is only recommended for advanced players. You may turn hardcore mode on or off at any time in the gameplay menu, but if you activate hardcore mode now and maintain it through the end of the main storyline, you'll receive a special reward. Would you like to activate hardcore mode? I always play the New Vegas on hardcore mode, to the point that it's practically the only experience that I got. Okay, tab. I'm sorry, I'm just trying to find the crouch button. Okay, the point I was making earlier about there's I like New Vegas over Fallout 3 for the most part, except there's kind of one thing that I sort of like Fallout 3 over New Vegas for, and that's the here. All weapons fall under weapons skill category that determines how effective the weapon is. Guns, energy weapons, explosives, melee weapons, or unarmed. Compare the small icon below to the left of the weapons icon to avoid skill menu, slash DPS. These indicate the base damage and damage per second, respectively. The weapons of the low DAM will have difficulty penetrating armor. You hit a target's damage threshold, switch to a weapon higher down where you boost ammo that reduces the target's damage threshold, i.e. armor piercing. Strength and skill. Many weapons have a strength and or skill requirement. If your character does not meet the strength or skill requirement for that weapon, its aim will wobble if a firearm, or it will attack more slowly if a hand-to-hand weapon. Condition. Bonus condition affects the amount of damage it does. Wait. Bonus condition affects the amount of damage it does. I'm not saying that right. Of damage is does. The amount of it should be either the amount of damage it does or the amount of damage is done. At 75% condition or higher, weapon does maximum damage and only needs to be maintained. A weapon with low condition will do less damage and may jam when reloaded. Repair/mod. These weapons take either repair or mod submeans, so you can repair damaged equipment or attach weapon modifications respectively. See here, you start off, when you start the game out the door, you already start with a 9mm pistol, binoculars, a broad machete, a knife, well I found a knife in here, so not that, a laser pistol, a mercenary's grenade rifle, a sturdy caravan shotgun, throwing spears, and a weathered 10mm pistol. At the start of Fallout 3, when you first step out of the vault, at the beginning of the game, you start, at least when I started the game, I started out with nothing but a 10mm pistol with what's the clip? 12 bullets plus a spare 25 bullets. It's a baseball bat and the clothes on the character's back. That's basically all I started with. Well, and in that sense, I kind of appreciate Fallout 3 a bit more in that regard, because it feels more satisfying to make your character powerful when your only starting equipment, and besides the clothes on your back, are a 10mm pistol and a baseball bat. Here, you start off with all these extra weapons, so it's not exactly as satisfying. Like the comparison between your starting equipment and the power base you get later on isn't quite as much, But anyway, apparel can consist of many different types of gear ranging from clothing and armor to sunglasses and hats. It's DT. Some apparel grants damage threshold DT to the wearer. Your DT is the sum of all DT from currently equipped apparel plus any bonuses from perks or chems. DT is directly subtracted from incoming damage, so a higher DT provides superior protection. Though a small percentage of damage can get through even the thickest armor, a high DT is quite valuable. Condition. Apparel's condition, C and D, affects how much protection it provides. Apparel above 50% condition provides maximum protection, only needs to be maintained. And light, medium, heavy. Medium heavy apparel will slow characters down when equipped. Repair. This option opens the repair summary, which allows is a peril to be repaired by salvaging parts from similar items. Oh yeah, that reminds me, there's out of all your skills, I want to get repair up to 90. There's a certain in perk that requires a 90 repair that I want to get. It's so valuable. But still, like I was saying, like other than your starting equipment at the beginning of the game, that's basically you've got Old World Blues, you've got a fragmented signal in your Pip-Boy, a code transmission of some sort with a sad, jazzy undercurrent that makes your head hurt. As far as you can tell, it appears to be an invitation to the midnight science fiction feature at the Mojave Drive-In. Please arrive early to catch the trailers. Old World Blues loaded. Old World Blues loaded. Your level cousin raised by 5. The reunion. Your Pip-Boy has received a signal. Coordinates that lead to the canyon wreckage west of Prim. Following the coordinates of the words, it's Courier 6. It's signed Ulysses. Lonesome Road added. It's been loaded. Lonesome Road's been loaded. You've been raised by 5. Happy Trails Expedition. Your Pip-Boy has picked up a radio broadcast from the Happy Trails Caravan Company. They're looking for one more member for an expedition in Zion Valley. Oh, council increased by 5. Those are, just to get out of the way, those are all the DLC content stuff that we'll be worrying about later. The ongoing conflict in the Mojave Wasteland has kicked weapon manufacturers into high gear. All major and minor weapon dealers in the region are rolling in new weapons, ammunition types, and modifications. Head the nearest participating vendor to pursue the merchandise. Found an orange arsenal loaded. Okay. Instructions. Deliver the package at the north entrance of the Vegas Strip by way of Freeside. The agent of the recipient will meet you at the checkpoint. Take possession of the package and pay for the delivery. Bring the payment to Johnson Dash of the Express Agency in Prim. Bonus on completion, 250 caps. There's manifest. This package contains 1 oversized poker chip composed of platinum. Contract penalties. You are an authorized agent of the Mojave Express package until the delivery is complete and payment is processed. Contractually obligated to complete this transaction and materially responsible for any malfeasance or loss. Failure to deliver to the proper recipient may result in forfeiture of your advance and bonus, criminal charges, and or pursuit by mercenary reclamation teams. Mojave Express is not responsible for any injury or loss of life experienced as a result of said reclamation efforts. So they're under no obligation to let you walk away alive. Okay, back in the south, like I say, Prim, and they went that way. Inquire about your delivery site. Express in Prim, talk to Victor and go through your rescue, and find the man who tried to kill you.
Howdy, partner. Might I say you're looking fit as a fiddle?
Thanks for digging me out of that grave.
Don't mention it. I'm always ready to lend a helping hand to a stranger in need.
I've never seen a robot like you before.
I'm a Securitron. Robco Security Model 2060B. If you ever see any of my brothers, tell them Victor says howdy.
How did you happen to find me?
I was out for a stroll that night when I heard the commotion up at the old bone orchard. Saw what looked like a bunch of bad eggs, so I laid low. Once they had run off, I dug you up to see if you were still kicking. Turns out you were, so I hauled you off to the dock right quick.
Do you know who those men were who attacked me?
Can't say that I'm familiar with the rascals. Some of the fine folks in town might be able to help you out with that.
How'd you end up in Goodsprings?
I moseyed into town, 10, 15 years ago. Before that, I can't quite seem to recall. Odd. Anyway, it's a right peaceful town, and I reckon it's as fine a place to settle as any.
Okay, goodbye.
Happy trails!
Oh, there it is. Sierra Madre Grand Opening. Your Pit Boys picked up a radio broadcast inviting you to the grand opening of the Sierra Madre Casino. And the level cast has been raised by 5. Mojave Express. Mojave Express drop boxes like this one can be used to deliver items to any Mojave Express drop box that you discover. Once you find a Mojave Express drop box, just activate it and you will be able to use that location to send and receive items. Yeah, not an hour into the game and I'm already stealing stuff.
Howdy. What can Easy Pete do for you?
You know anything about the... Why are you called Easy Pete?
Was a prospector until I decided to settle here to get away from the NCR. Now we'll just take it easy and help out with the Brahmin and Bighorners.
So you're a prospector, like digging for gold and silver?
Nah. Means I poke through old buildings looking for working tech and such. Some folks just call it salvaging, but never liked the term. Way I see it, salvage means it's broken, near worthless. Me, I look for the good stuff. Guns, chems, spare parts. Good money in it.
You ever find anything good while prospecting?
Nope. Had a pretty good claim once, way out east by the river, but got run off by raiders. Eventually got too old to keep going out.
What do you use the Bighorners for?
Meat and hide, mostly. Can't put a pack on them. You just lay down until you take it off. Can find a bunch of wild ones high up in the hills, but gotta be careful around them. They can put up a decent fight if cornered.
So, know anything about that robot Victor?
The machine? Harmless, no matter what Trudy says. She thinks it's hiding something, but I think it's just a broken down relic with no place to be.
What's wrong with the NCR?
Don't get me wrong, the NCR's got a lot of decent folk in it. It's just that they make you part of them whether you like it or not. Towns like Goodsprings and Primm don't stay independent for long. Not if you've got something the NCR wants. Still, the NCR keeps the Legion away.
Okay, wait, what's the Legion? Tell me about that.
They're slavers, led by a guy named Caesar, or Caesar. Not sure how you're supposed to say it. A couple of years ago, they tried to take over Hoover Dam, but the NCR beat them back. The NCR didn't or couldn't finish the job, though. The Legion's got its strength back and is getting ready for another round at the dam. My money's still on the NCR winning, but you never know. We've been hearing stories about legionaries on the Nevada side of the river, so keep a gun handy. You don't want to get caught by them.
What's so important about the Hoover Dam?
The dam powers a lot of New Vegas, and then there's all that clean water lying in Lake Mead, too. Anybody who owns the dam owns the territory.
Okay, let's get to the real meat of the conversation. Do you know anything about the people who attacked me?
The one in the fancy suit seemed to be calling the shots. That's as much as I know. Other folks in town might know more. Word of advice, though, if you ever catch up with him, watch out. The man's got cold eyes like a snake. Can't be trusted, I'd say.
Alright, I think that's enough. Bye.
Keep your gun handy if you go poking around some of the abandoned places around here, like the schoolhouse. Critters move in there sometimes.
Thanks for the advice. Take it easy, Pete.
Cheyenne, stay. Don't worry, she won't bite unless I tell her to.
Doc Mitchell said you could teach me to survive in the desert.
Yeah, I guess there's a thing or two I could show you. Sounds like you need all the help you can get after what they done to you. Meet me outside, behind the saloon.
Hey there.
Now, see the sarsaparilla bottles on the fence there? Take this and try to hit a couple of them. That's the right idea. Look down the sight. Try crouching down and staying still. It'll help your aim. Nice shot. Well, that's a start. But I don't reckon you came to me to learn to fight sarsaparilla bottles. Tell you what, I gotta go chase geckos away from our water supply anyway. Darn critters are attracted to it. Why don't you come along?
Sure, I can use the experience.
Follow me. It's just down to the southeast a short ways.
Kinda taking a good minute.
Hear that up on the ridge behind me there? We got some geckos to clear out. Bunch of little monsters is what they are. Seems like Doc Mitchell treats more gecko bites than anything else. Let's see if we can get a little closer. If we move quietly, we can get the jump on them. More likely to hit something vital that way. Okay, you're on. Go give him hell.
There's a little red dot on the compass. It's in the bottom left, or indicates enemies. Your perception affects the range at which you can detect enemies on your compass. I can see one there. Oh, here we go. Okay, let's see. I'll at least take the hides. Those could sell for a decent buck or a decent cap, I guess.
See? You're getting the hang of it. There's 2 more wells that still need clearing. You want, you can come along. It'd be worth a few caps to me.
Yeah, I'll do it.
Shouldn't take more than a couple minutes, especially with 2 of us. Come with me.
Ooh, she gave me a good amount of ammo. I appreciate that. Oh, it just disappeared on me. Thanks. Welcome to VAT. Vault the tech assisted targeting system or VATS. VATS displays the chance you will hit along with the condition of each body part. Left click to attack your target. Right click to attack to cancel an attack. Press C to accept your actions. Left click on to switch to a new target. The number of attacks you excellent to your action points.
Holy moly. If you hadn't come here like you done, I'd be a goner for sure. I came up here to draw water, but here, you should have what I got. You look thirsty.
3 purified waters. You establish the reputation of a group of people in the wasteland. Whether that reputation is good or bad, you're finally somebody. People associated with that group will start to react to what you've done. There are many different factions in the wasteland. You can develop a distinct reputation with each one. As you perform actions that benefit a group, you will gain fame. If you perform actions that harm a group, you'll gain infamy. Your reputation with any given group is a measure of the combined total of fame and infamy that you have earned. The benefits and drawbacks of any given reputation depend on the group itself. You may receive discounts with merchants, provoke attacks from hired thugs, or simply be treated differently. And you've become accepted. I have become accepted in Goodsprings.
Now that was some good work. Even got a little exciting there at the end. Here's a little spending money for the trouble. One more thing I wanted to show you. Thought I might teach you about living off the land and making useful things for yourself. Interested?
Couldn't hurt.
Alright then. We'll need a couple ingredients to get started. Gonna want some xander root and a brock flower. Let me think now. I know I've seen brock flowers growing up at the graveyard, and I seem to remember there being xander root over by the schoolhouse. Bring those on back to me, and we'll get cooking. Hey there.
Oh, what's this? A literal tumbleweed. Big corner. Wait, I never really thought about it before. Is this supposed to be a mutated ram or so? Or so? I never thought about it. Stupid bug. Not even worth the money. Over here, let's check out the school. Get out of here, you stupid bug. I'd argue that they're not even worth the bullets if I didn't already just waste a bunch of bullets on them. Find the glue. Empty bottle. Ashtray and baseball glove. Some terminals are protected and can be accessed without a password. If your science skill is high enough, you can attempt to hack the terminal. Selecting the correct password will grant you access. If your guess is incorrect, it will be shown how many layers connect to the correct password and the correct location. You have 4 tries to guess correctly. If you fail, the terminal will remain inaccessible until you own the password. You can exit hacking at any time and try again. However, exiting the terminal will force the security reset, it delaying your ability to start hacking again. Okay, let's try the word decline. Okay, an easy way that I try to cheat the systems is that when you get like 2 out of 3 incorrect, you can back out and enter it again. Hold on, you can find little things like this throughout the thing, and it'll give you different It'll give you little perks or stuff. So, like, kind of good things like replenish your little attempts, or it can remove incorrect words from the list of potential words to choose from. But I would recommend getting at least using up 3 attempts left out of your 4 total before looking for these, because at least one of them will always replenish all of your. One of them most of them just remove fake dud words. Or one of them will always restore your attempts, and it's kind of better to use up 3 of your attempts, get the replenishment, and have 3 more attempts, rather than like looking for little duds and having your first one be the replenishment, just completely wasting. Oh, thank goodness. The last word is the correct one. Disengage lock. The thing about the safe is that you can either use your science skills to hack the terminal to open it, or otherwise, if you don't have the science skill, you can use your lock picking skills in order to unlock the safe. Stealth Boy, it lets you turn invisible in order to help you be better at stealth. Alright, now let's go get the other ingredient for the healing. Yeah, if you're playing on hardcore mode, one of the things about hardcore is that you have a food, a hunger and thirst meters to worry about, as well as a sleep meter. And if you go too long without eating, drinking, and sleeping, it'll start to affect your stats. And going too long, way too long without it, will eventually result in your character dying. And again, I've always liked playing with it on, because it gives a purpose to all the... It gives a genuinely good purpose to all the food. It gives a genuinely good purpose to all the food items and drink items in the game. Instead of just as being plus 2 points, like this box of cereal is plus 2 points of health. This box of sugary cereal is like plus 10 in action. And the other ingredient is brock flowers. Sandal roots and brock flowers. Something I'd like to point out is that for reasons that'll become apparent later, it's a good idea to come up to the graveyard and collect these distinctive cigarette butts. For reasons that I'll make that are not only apparent, but I'll explain when we get the time. But for now, I'm not going to spoil it. Kinda let the mystery be there. I don't know. I'm not sure why the game has to have a distinct slowdown button that brings it to a crawl like that. Most games have a sprint button. But for some reason, Las Vegas chose... I called the game Las Vegas. Fallout New Vegas chose to have a slow walk button. Kind of weird that from what I know of the Fallout games, including the first two, it's kind of weird that of how the kind of relationship the protagonist have with vaults. Like in Fallout 1, your character comes from a vault. In Fallout 2, your character is like a tribesman. It's not only a tribesman that came from a tribe, but it's like a descendant of like the original Vault Dweller from the first game. He doesn't come from himself, but lives in a tribe. But is a descendant of the Vault Dweller from Fallout 1. Then Fallout 3 comes around again. Your character's been born and raised in a vault, well, just like in Fallout 1. Then in New Vegas, your character's just a courier, or with presumably no connection to a vault. Well, presumably. See, I say because, like, it being a role-player game, not much is known about your character. Not much is known about your character's backstory. Other than the only really thing that's known at the moment is that your character is working as a courier. Don't know how or why he ended up in this place, but that's his job.
Let me see what you got. Yeah, these'll do just fine. Just fine. Alright now. We're gonna be making something folks on the trail call healing powder. Go on over to that campfire now. Give it a try.
Healing powder. Effects perception -1, but it gives HP +1 and for 18 seconds.
Hey, that's not bad, see? All it takes to make a recipe is the right ingredients and the right know-how. Sometimes it won't be a campfire you need. Might need to do some work on your guns and ammo, maybe. Important thing to get is it's all the same idea. You just need to find the right place to set up shop. Workbench or reloading bench, whatever. Well, I hope that's enough to get you started. I'm heading back now. Hope I didn't miss anything good on the jukebox. Cheyenne would never forgive me. Hey, do me a favor. Trudy, she's the bartender up at the Prospector. Kind of the town mom. She likes to meet newcomers. She'd be cross with me if I didn't ask you to poke your head in and say hi.
Well, I wonder, something I'm kind of wondering. Oh my goodness. Wait, what? Oh. Despite its description as being weathered, the 10mm pistol is always a trusty weapon. To me, or just like almost all 3 Fallout games that I've played so far, like this, New Vegas here, or 3 and 4, or all start with the you have like the 10mm pistol be your starting weapon. Well, at this point in time, I didn't really get far in Fallout 4, or I mean, the most I did is at this point in time is like save Nick Valentine from the little gang or so. They're trying to emulate the 1950s New York or mafia or something like that. That's like saving him from the gang. It's the farthest I get, so there's still a chance that I can do a blind playthrough of that. Well, mostly blind.
I'm done being nice. If you don't hand Ringo over soon, I'm going to get my friends and we're burning this town to the ground. Got it?
We'll keep that in mind. Now, if you're not going to buy something, get out.
What do you want?
What's going on? What's that you said about a person named Ringo?
He's some traitor who decided he'd rather shoot than pay the toll for being in our territory. He's hiding somewhere in town. Would serve these idiots right if me and my guys shot the place up after we got payback on Ringo.
You consider this area your territory?
It is now. Me and the rest of the guys busted out of the NCR prison east of here and took over. Now we're calling the shots.
What were you in prison for?
None of your damn business. You ought to know better than to ask a man that kind of question.
How about... I just need to know if I should watch my step around you.
Robbed some people, burned some things, killed a few guys.
That's one thing I like about this game. It's the little skill checks or so that the game gives you. What's going on in the rest of the wasteland?
Same old shit that's been going on for years. The NCR and Legion are still fighting over Hoover Dam for some reason.
What do you know about the Legion?
I've run with some tough gangs, but I gotta admit, they all got nothing on the Legion. I hear they stick you up on poles and it takes a while to die. I ain't saying I'm afraid of them or nothing, but I'll be staying out of their way.
And tell me about the NCR.
New California Republic. Nothing new about it. Just a bunch of people with money and power pushing everyone else around. They've got troops all over the Mojave, but it's a big desert, so it's pretty easy to avoid them if you want.
What do you know about the Hoover Dam?
Never been there since the NCR's got troops all over it. Must be pretty important.
I think I'm done talking to you. Goodbye.
Yeah.
Well, you've been causing quite a stir. Glad I finally got to meet you. Welcome to the Prospector Saloon.
I overheard your argument. What's that about?
Looks like our little town got itself dragged into the middle of something we don't want anything to do with. About a week ago, this traitor, Ringo, comes into town. Survivor of an attack, he says. Bad men after him. Needs a place to hide. We figured he was just in shock, so we gave him a place to lie low. We didn't actually expect anyone to come after him.
Where's Ringo now?
He's holed up at the abandoned gas station up the hill.
Why not just kill Cobb and be done with him?
You mean murder him? That's not our way, even if Cobb is scum. He can bluster and threaten all he wants.
Well, if you're not going to kill him, what are you going to do?
Some of the others, like Sonny, will probably stand up for Ringo if he asks for help, which he hasn't. Personally, I hope he sneaks out of town one night and takes the Powder Gangers with him.
Powder Gangers?
Chain gangs, really. The NCR brought them in from California to work on the rail lines. Problem is, it turns out that giving convicts a bunch of dynamite and blasting powder isn't the best idea. It was a big escape not too long ago. Some of them stuck together so they could make trouble. That's what we're dealing with now.
Alright, let's talk about something else.
Alright.
What happens if I help Ringo?
If you were able to get Ringo out of this mess, you'd have a decent reputation around Goodsprings. I'd even set you up with a discount. Of course, helping Ringo would also make the Powder Gangers mad, and they've got a lot of friends out there.
So I help Ringo and Goodsprings will like me more. What if I help the Powder Gangers?
Don't know why you'd want to do a thing like that. Yep, you'd get on their good side, but people around here wouldn't appreciate it one bit.
Who is that man you're arguing with in particular?
He's a convict, just without the chains. Said his name was Cobb. Powder Gangers is what they call themselves. Plenty more like him out there.
I should have listened to that before the other question. Do you know about the robot that rescued me?
I know that thing as much as anyone else around here. It mostly keeps to itself, which is just fine by me.
You don't like him?
It acts friendly enough, but I don't trust that whole cheerful cowboy act. I find it all very creepy.
How long has he been in Goodsprings?
It was here when I took over the saloon 7 years ago. Some people have said its owner lived here, but no one knows who it was.
What does he actually do around here?
Other than rolling around once in a while, it doesn't do anything useful as far as I can tell. I don't know why it took an interest in you, but I'd be careful. It's never helped anyone before.
Alright, let's talk about something else.
Fine by me.
Does Good Springs get any visitors?
Mostly traders looking to buy bighorn or meat and hides. The traders are the main reason the general store manages to stay in business. Most travelers heading south on the I-15 just push on towards Primm, unless they're in desperate need of supplies.
Anything else going on in the rest of the wasteland?
There's always something interesting going on, but the biggest news has to be the coming dust-up between the NCR and the Legion over the dam.
Okay, I'm gonna stop asking about NCR and the Legion. Because I think it's obvious enough, and I don't need I don't want to waste any more time asking the same 3 questions to every single character. I'm trying to track down the people who attacked me. Know anything about them?
Not much, other than they're a bunch of freeloaders who expected a few rounds on the house. I was able to get them to pay up, though. Of course, one of the great cons did knock my radio to the floor by accident, and it hasn't been working since.
Did they say where they were going?
They were having some kind of argument about it, but the guy in the checkered coat kept shushing them. Sounded like they came in from the north through Quarry Junction. If that's the case, I can't say I blame them for not wanting to go back.
And why is that?
That whole area is overrun with the kind of critters that just get mad if you shoot them. Merchants avoid that whole stretch of I-15 like it's radioactive, which it could be for all I know.
So where were they headed?
I didn't hear exactly, but the leader was talking about the strip. Fella wants to get there and avoid the 15, he'd have to go east. Take Highway 93 up.
You want me to look at your broken radio while you're here?
Sure,
While I'm here?
the outside looks okay, but I think something broke on the inside. There'd be caps in it for you. I do like to hear what's going on in the world, and that Mr. New Vegas seems like such a gentleman.
Okay, I'll see you around.
Be careful out there.
Got it.
Feeling thirsty? I can take care of that.
I fixed your radio.
Yeah, I heard it turn right back on after you got done tinkering with it. Here's some caps for the work.
Oh, I'm 1 point short. That's all I think you afford to pay me a little bit more.
I could get another working radio with the caps I already gave you. Now, how about spending some of those caps right now?
How about I keep my money, thank you very much.
Be careful out there.
And here's a level up screen where it's got 14 points that I can assign to any which skill I desire. And with that, let's... And another thing about New Vegas is that in leveling up, you gain the ability to choose an extra perk on every even numbered level you get to, like level 2, 4, 6, 8. But you only get you can only upgrade your skill your skills on odd numbers. On even numbers, you get both skill upgrade and the perks here. This is one perk that I intend to get, the Bloody Mess, but it just requires level 6. somewhere right here. I'm not going to spend too long looking for it, but I can't get it right now anyway, so. I'm wondering which perk is worth getting. Reloads 25% faster than normal. Which perk would be? Which one would be more beneficial? Their skill magazine is in the game that can temporarily increase your certain skills, but there's different magazines in the game that can increase a particular skill by about 10 by 10 points for about 1 minute or so. But once the 1 minute is up, it drops back down to normal. But the retention skill here, as you can see, it upgrades it from 1 minute to 3. And I'm just wondering, do I want that or do I want 25% faster reload? Do I want to increase 25% rapid, increase my reload, make reload 25% faster by 25% faster. I don't know why I'm not able to talk. I feel like I'm babbling like an idiot. I think I'll go with the rapid reload. I think I'll get the retention skill upgraded in the future. And I think that does it for. For now. This is where I'm going to end the first episode of New Vegas. This next time on in New Vegas, I intend to do the. I'll be trying to help Goodsprings with their and Ringo by extension again. It's by with their powder ganger problem. But that'll be next time. And until then, this has been Fallout New Vegas. This has been Fallout New Vegas. Thank you for watching, and until next time, I'll see you guys around.